Beautiful.
Are you ready to face the truth? Some who were once legends are now nothing more than forgotten memories. Released in 1983, The Right Stuff turned space pioneers into timeless heroes. But 42 years later, their real-life stories will leave you speechless. Some lost everything overnight. Some fought silently until their final breath. How have they changed? And how old were you when you first watched this film? Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the untold truths behind the spotlight. Ed Harris.
The vice president, the head of the program. You're gonna think of the broader interests of this program.
You are way out of line here.
Yes, sir.
Ed Harris played John Glenn at just 31 years old. The role required grace, discipline, and moral integrity, qualities Glenn was known for as the only Mercury 7 astronaut who later became a U.S. Senator. Harris delivered a portrayal that captured both the heroic charm and internal conflict of a man burdened by greatness. Born on November 28, 1950, in New Jersey, Harris grew up in an artistic family. His father was an opera singer, his mother a travel agent, and later a beauty worker. He briefly studied at Columbia University, but left to pursue acting, supporting himself by waiting tables and driving trucks while training in theater. The Right Stuff marked a breakout moment, earning him a Golden Globe nomination and industry recognition. His talent continued to shine in Apollo 13, The Truman Show, and Pollock, the latter earning him an Oscar nomination for Best Actor.
Ed Harris.
Oh, man.
On set, Harris became known for his immersive preparation, insistence on authenticity, and refusal to use stunt doubles whenever possible. As of 2025, Ed Harris is 74 years old and continues to work actively in film and television. His most recent high-profile role was as the Man in Black in HBO's Westworld, 2016 to 2022, a dark, layered character that further cemented his legacy as one of Hollywood's most intense performers. Unlike many actors of his generation, Harris has stayed out of controversy. He has been married to actress Amy Madigan since 1983, and they have a daughter named Lily. The couple leads a private life in Malibu, California, far from the celebrity spotlight. As of 2025, his net worth is estimated at $25 million, accumulated through decades of acting, producing, and occasional voice work. Scott Glenn. Scott Glenn portrayed Sam Shepard, the first American to travel into space. At 44 years old, Glenn captured Shepard's cool, cocky charisma with an edge of rivalry. His performance reflected the real-life astronaut's sharp wit, confidence, and competitive nature, especially about fellow Mercury 7 members like John Glenn and Gus Grissom. Born January 26, 1939, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, his full name is Theodore Scott Glenn. As a child, he suffered from chronic dysentery for nearly 5 years, weakening his immune system. After recovery, he joined the U.S. Marine Corps and later studied acting in New York. Before breaking into Hollywood, he worked as a bartender, cab driver, and copy editor for a local newspaper. The Right Stuff became a pivotal moment, launching Glenn into prominent roles in The Hunt for Red October, Backdraft, and The Silence of the Lambs. Off-screen, he's known for embracing risk, an avid mountaineer and skydiver who refused to use stunt doubles. His physical dedication and quiet intensity made him a unique force in 1980s cinema. As of 2025, Scott Glenn is 86 years old and largely retired from acting. His final prominent role was Alan Pangborn in Castle Rock, 2018 to 2019, showcasing his continued emotional depth even in old age. Glenn currently resides in Idaho with his wife Carol Schwartz, whom he married in 1968. They have 2 daughters together. Known for his reclusive nature, Glenn avoids Hollywood events and red carpets. Since the early 2010s, he has gradually withdrawn from the screen to focus on family and solitude. He enjoys mountain hiking, reading, and writing short fiction in his spare time. By 2025, his net worth is estimated at $5 million, primarily from his long film and television career spanning nearly 5 decades. Quietly dignified and consistently underrated, Scott Glenn remains a symbol of rugged integrity both on screen and in real life. Dennis Quaid. Dennis Quaid portrays Gordon "Gordo" Cooper, one of the original Mercury astronauts to enter space. At around 29 years old, he captures Cooper's flamboyant confidence, wit, and slight arrogance. An astronaut keen to be recognized globally. His character stands out for boldness and charisma, especially in contrast with figures like John Glenn and Alan Shepard. Dennis William Quaid was born April 9, 1954, in Houston, Texas. He studied drama at the University of Houston before moving to Hollywood. Raised in a working-class household, his father was an electrician and his mother worked in real estate. Quaid balanced odd jobs like bartending to support his acting dreams. The Cooper role propelled him into mainstream hits such as The Big Easy, 1986, The Parent Trap, 1998, and Frequency, 2000. Known for his crooked grin and buoyant persona, Quaid brought playful energy to sets. Behind the scenes, he lightened the mood by joking around and often drove vintage cars. His performance as Cooper became a lasting symbol of youthful daring in 1980s cinema. Dennis Quaid is 71 years old and remains active in films. Most recently, he portrayed President Ronald Reagan in the 2024 biopic Reagan, a role he described as his favorite project to date. Quaid is currently married to his fourth wife, Laura Savoy, whom he wed in 2020. They share a production company, Bonnydale Films, and split their time between Nashville and Los Angeles. He has 3 children, son Jack, born 1992, from his marriage to Meg Ryan, and twins Thomas and Zoe, born 2007, with Kimberly Buffington. Although Quaid faced public struggles with addiction and multiple divorces earlier in life, he has since credited his faith and marriage with guiding his recovery. Now stable and focused, he maintains a positive public persona and avoids scandals. While specific health reports are private, there are no known serious issues at present. As of 2025, his net worth is estimated at around $40 million, accumulated through over 5 decades in acting, producing, and philanthropy. Dennis Quaid remains a testament to resilience and longevity in Hollywood. Fred Ward.
Gus. Nobody calls me by that other name.
Fred Ward portrayed astronaut Gus Grissom at the age of 41. Grissom, one of NASA's original Mercury 7, was shown as serious, capable, and determined, a contrast to the more charismatic Chuck Yeager. Fred Ward delivered a grounded, emotionally controlled performance, capturing Grissom's integrity and inner conflict. His character's relationship with the other astronauts was respectful yet distant, often overshadowed by internal pressures and media scrutiny. Born Freddie Joe Ward on December 30, 1942, in San Diego, California, Ward had a rugged background. He worked as a lumberjack, boxer, and short-order cook before acting. He even served 3 years in the U.S. Air Force. His gritty persona made him perfect for roles requiring realism and quiet strength. Outside The Right Stuff, he gained acclaim in films like Remo Williams, The Adventure Begins, 1985, and Tremors, 1990. Behind the scenes, Ward was intensely private, avoiding Hollywood glamour, preferring outdoor life and poetry reading. After The Right Stuff, Ward continued acting into the 2000s, including roles in Sweet Home Alabama, 2002, and The Player, 1992. However, his presence gradually diminished. In interviews, he expressed discomfort with fame, often retreating from the spotlight to focus on painting and writing haiku. He lived quietly in California during his later years. Fred Ward passed away on May 8, 2022, at the age of 79 due to unknown causes, as confirmed by his publicist. He is survived by his wife, Marie-France, and son Django. His ashes were reportedly scattered at sea, honoring his wish for privacy even in death. His personal life was relatively low profile. Though he faced industry burnout, he avoided major scandals or public breakdowns. At the time of his death, Fred Ward's net worth was estimated at $3 million. Sam Shepard.
Sure, Chuck.
Sam Shepard played the legendary test pilot Chuck Yeager at age 39. Yeager, the first person to break the sound barrier, wasn't part of the official Mercury 7, but represented the daring, raw courage of a different era. Shepard's portrayal brought quiet intensity and poetic depth to Yeager, setting the emotional tone for the film. The character, often isolated, shared a strong camaraderie with his fellow pilots and deep affection for his wife, Glennis. Born Samuel Shepard. Rogers III, on November 5, 1943, in Fort Sheridan, Illinois, Shepard had a military upbringing with a troubled alcoholic father. He dropped out of college and worked as a stable hand before joining an off-Broadway theater group in New York. By the 1970s, he was already a Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright, Buried Child, 1979, before stepping into major film roles. His performance in The Right Stuff earned him an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor. Interestingly, Shepard refused flying lessons before filming, choosing instead to imagine the sensation rather than reenact it. Following The Right Stuff, Shepard continued writing and acting. He appeared in films like Black Hawk Down, 2001, and August, Osage County, 2013, while also penning over 40 plays. Despite career success, his personal life was complex. He had a long-term relationship with actress Jessica Lange, with whom he had 2 children, but they separated in 2009. Shepard also battled alcoholism for years and was arrested for DUI twice in his later life. Sam Shepard died on July 27, 2017, at age 73 due to complications from ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. He passed away at his home in Kentucky, surrounded by family. His remains were cremated and his ashes were scattered privately. At the time of his death, Sam Shepard's net worth was estimated at $10 million, a legacy rooted in both screen and stage. Scott Paulin. Scott Paulin played Deke Slayton, one of the Mercury 7 astronauts, at approximately 33 years old. Slayton was portrayed as introspective, steady, and burdened by health issues. He was originally grounded due to a heart arrhythmia. Paulin captured Slayton's commitment, loyalty to colleagues like John Glenn and Gordon Cooper, and his struggle with duty and self-expectation. Full name Robert Scott Paulin, he was born on February 13, 1950 in Steubenville, Ohio. After studying government at Pomona College, graduating in 1971, he supported himself by working in restaurants and assisting in academics. Before his breakthrough, he held smaller roles across television and film. The Slayton performance helped launch his career, leading to roles in Teen Wolf, 1985, Pump Up the Volume, 1990, and I Am Sam, 2001. Scott Paulin, now 75 years old, has largely stepped away from acting. He married actress Wendy Phillips in 1981, and they have one daughter together. After decades of appearing on screen and directing, he now teaches drama at the University of Southern California and occasionally directs episodes for TV series. Paulin's personal life remains private and peaceful. He avoids Hollywood glamour and prefers quiet living in Ohio when not working. There are no reports of major personal crises, substance issues, or mental health struggles. His well-being appears stable for his age. According to varied public estimates, his net worth as of 2025 stands around $1 million or less. Charles Frank. Charles Frank portrayed Scott Carpenter, the fourth American astronaut to reach space, at around age 36. Carpenter's film persona is compassionate, methodical, and emotionally grounded. His on-screen relationships with fellow Mercury 7 members, such as Deke Slayton and Gordon Cooper, reflected camaraderie and shared responsibility under immense pressure. Charles R. Frank was born on April 17, 1947 in Olympia, Washington. Raised in a modest household, he studied at Middlebury College before launching an acting career in the early 1970s. Before his breakout in The Right Stuff, he was best known for portraying Dr. Jeff Martin on All My Children, along with starring in Young Maverick. Charles Frank is 78 years old and resides primarily in Olympia with his wife, actress Susan Blanchard, whom he married in 1977. They share one child. Frank has virtually stepped away from acting, focusing instead on script writing, mentoring young actors, and taking part in minor artistic endeavors. He maintains a private lifestyle, avoiding scandals or public controversies throughout his career. No reported issues relating to addiction, divorce, or mental health struggles. His well-being appears consistent with his age and low-profile lifestyle. Net worth estimates from Celebs Money and related outlets place his assets at around $5 million as of 2025. Donald Moffat. Donald Moffat portrayed President Lyndon B. Johnson at roughly 52 years old, born 1930. His Johnson is authoritative, politically driven, and instrumental in propelling the U.S. space program during the Cold War. Moffat captures Johnson's firm resolve, operating behind the scenes, but casting a long shadow over NASA's trajectory. Donald Moffat was born on December 26, 1930, in Plymouth, England. He trained at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art in London before immigrating to the U.S. in the 1950s. Early on, he worked as a lumberjack and bartender in Oregon. Transitioning to theater, from the Old Vic to Broadway, he earned 2 Tony Award nominations in 1967 and won an Obie Award in 1983. Besides his role in The Right Stuff, Moffat appeared as Station Commander Gary in The Thing, 1982, and portrayed another president in Clear and Present Danger, 1994. Following The Right Stuff, he remained active in film and TV until his retirement in 2005, with appearances in The West Wing, Logan's Run, and Tales of the City. Married twice, his second union with Gwen Arner produced 4 children. The family maintained a low profile throughout. Donald Moffat died on December 20, 2018, in Sleepy Hollow, New York, at the age of 87, from complications related to a stroke. He passed away at home, and his ashes were kept private according to his wishes. At his passing, Donald Moffat's net worth was estimated at $5 million, earned through decades of dedicated work on stage and screen. Levon Helm. Levon Helm portrays Jack Ridley, a military flight engineer supporting NASA's Mercury astronauts. At approximately 43 years old, Ridley is depicted as reliable, detail-oriented, and the technical backbone behind the pilot's missions. His interactions with characters like Slayton and Glenn reflect mutual respect and steady collaboration from the control room to the launch pad. Mark Levon Helm was born May 26, 1940, in Elaine, Arkansas. Raised in a cotton farming household where music was integral, he learned drums at age 8 and held odd jobs including truck driving and farm labor before achieving success as a musician and actor. Helm rose to prominence as drummer and vocalist for the band during the 1960s. Before his role in The Right Stuff, he appeared in Coal Miner's Daughter, 1980, playing Loretta Lynn's father. Following his appearance in The Right Stuff, Helm devoted himself to solo performances and launched the Midnight Ramble concert series at his Woodstock home, featuring artists like Emmylou Harris and Elvis Costello. His albums Dirt Farmer, 2007, and Electric Dirt, 2009, earned Grammy Awards, and reinforced his influence in Americana music. Levon Helm passed away on April 19, 2012, at age 71 in New York City, succumbing to complications from throat cancer that first appeared in the late 1990s. His ashes were scattered privately at Woodstock Cemetery per his wishes. At the time of his death, Levon Helm's net worth stood at approximately $12 million, derived from decades-long achievements in music and occasional acting roles. As time passes, the cast of The Right Stuff continues to hold a special place in the hearts of movie lovers. Each face, each story, captures the golden era of Hollywood. If you notice any inaccurate information, feel free to kindly let us know. Your feedback helps us make future videos even better. Every comment is appreciated. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update from Hollywood movie stars.